Today, we're going to dive into a really powerful, real-life story about taking back control of your finances. Look, this isn't about some get-rich-quick scheme. It's about a real journey from being absolutely trapped by debt to finding genuine financial freedom. This is Donald's story.
I mean, it's a feeling so many of us know, right? You get your paycheck, you start paying the bills, and then, poof, you're left wondering where on earth it all went. That feeling of just spinning your wheels, working so hard, and having nothing to show for it, it can be so demoralizing. Donald felt that exact same way, just totally frustrated and stuck. But his story is proof that breaking that cycle is possible for absolutely anyone who decides to take control. So let's start at the beginning, because before there was any freedom, there was a major struggle. And for Donald, that struggle was a deep, overwhelming debt trap.
What's kind of crazy about this is just how relatable it is. A few years ago, Donald was completely drowning. And it wasn't just one thing. It was like the perfect storm of debt. Student loans, credit cards with crazy interest rates, and a personal loan that just wouldn't quit. His paycheck would land in his account, and almost instantly, it was just gone, completely eaten up by minimum payments. The rest of the month, just a stressful game of survival, often using borrowed money, all while telling himself that same old lie. Next month, I'll do better.
Okay, and this right here? This is the core misconception that Donald, and let's be honest, so many of us, fall for. He really believed that if he could just earn more money, all his problems would magically disappear. But this slide shows the hard truth. Your income does not equal your wealth. It's your spending habits that really call the shots. Every time Donald got a raise, his lifestyle just inflated right along with it, leaving him in the exact same spot. He was stuck on a financial hamster wheel, just running faster and getting nowhere. Every story of real change has a catalyst, right? That one moment that just forces you to look in the mirror. For Donald, it was a quiet evening when he logged in to check his bank balance and saw that single terrifying number, -$15. It just hit him like a ton of bricks. He realized he wasn't just broke, he was literally living on borrowed time from the bank. That was it. That was the moment he decided to stop making excuses and start making a change.
And that wake-up call? It led directly to this. The turning point. This is where the story shifts. This is where Donald stopped being a victim of his finances and started to fight back.
And this is absolutely crucial. His journey didn't start with getting a new job or finding some side hustle. It started with knowledge. Instead of just chasing more income, he made a commitment to learn more. He started reading books, watching videos, and, this is huge, he meticulously went through his bank statements to finally understand where his money was actually going.
This slide just captures that transformation so perfectly. Before, it was like he was walking around blindfolded when it came to his spending, just a victim of every impulse buy. But after he made that decision to change, he ripped off the blindfold and picked up a magnifying glass. He became the manager of his money, tracking every single cent. He stopped letting his money control him and started telling his money exactly where to go.
So how did he do it? It wasn't some complex secret formula you need a PhD to understand. Nope. It was a simple, winning plan that literally anyone can follow.
Let's just break down the 4 simple rules that became his playbook. First, he created a monthly budget. This gave him a clear roadmap for his money for the first time ever. Second, and this is a game changer, he started paying himself first. That meant his savings, his future, got prioritized before any of his spending. Third, he made a hard commitment to stop taking on new, unnecessary debt. He had to stop the bleeding. And finally, he focused on just one financial goal at a time. This was huge because it kept him from getting overwhelmed and allowed him to build some real momentum. And to make his budget really tangible, he used the classic 50-30-20 rule. 50% of his income went to his absolute needs. Rent, groceries, the essentials. 30% was for his wants, the stuff that makes life enjoyable. And that final 20%, that was the powerhouse. It was all dedicated to savings and aggressively attacking his debt. This simple structure just took all the guesswork out of it and gave him the clarity he'd been missing for years.
And the result wasn't just financial, Within just a few months of sticking to his plan, Donald felt something he hadn't experienced in years, a sense of control. He discovered a simple but profound truth. The more you track your money, the less it actually controls you. It was just this massive psychological shift from constant anxiety to feeling empowered.
So how did this simple plan actually turn into real results? Well, it's all about small wins. Financial freedom isn't something you achieve in one giant leap. It's built piece by piece on a foundation of consistent, positive steps.
Okay, check this out. After just 6 months of disciplined effort, Donald paid off his smallest personal loan. Now, it wasn't his biggest debt by a long shot, but that feeling of officially checking it off the list, man, it was a monumental victory. That small win created this huge wave of motivation that just pushed him forward. It was real, tangible proof that his plan was actually working.
The strategy he was using is actually pretty famous. It's called the debt snowball. Here's how it works. You list all your debts from the smallest balance to the largest. You keep making the minimum payments on everything, but you throw every single extra dollar you have at that smallest debt. Once it's gone, you take all the money you were paying on it and roll it over to the next smallest debt. This creates this incredible snowball of momentum that just makes paying off each new debt faster and, honestly, way more motivating.
Now, at the same time he was attacking his debt, Donald started another really crucial habit. He started building an emergency fund. He started small, just putting aside a little bit each month. But over time, that little bit grew into a real financial safety net. And this fund, it was a total game changer for his confidence. He finally knew that an unexpected car repair or a medical bill wouldn't be a crisis that sent him right back into debt. This journey of small wins and just being consistent, it all led him to the final and maybe the most important lesson of all.
And this is the ultimate takeaway right here. Donald realized that financial freedom isn't about having $1 million in the bank. It's a mindset. It's the peace of mind that comes from knowing where your money is going, from having a plan, and from being the one who's in charge of your own financial destiny.
So you fast forward to today, and this slide just shows you the incredible results. Donald is completely debt-free. He's got savings and investment accounts that are actually growing. Payday used to bring this wave of stress, and now it brings a sense of opportunity. He has fundamentally shifted from being a victim of his circumstances to being the architect of his own financial future. His life didn't change because he won the lottery. It changed with one single, simple decision to take responsibility for his money. And that's the most powerful part of this story. If Donald, who started from a negative bank balance, can do this, then so can you. Your own journey can start the exact same way, with one decision. So I'm going to leave you with this question. Your path to financial freedom can literally begin right now. Will it be tracking your expenses for just 1 week? Maybe creating your very first budget? What's your first step going to be? Hey, if you found Donald's story inspiring, make sure you subscribe to the Dita Finance channel. We've got more practical financial lessons just like this that can seriously change your life. Go ahead and like this explainer to show your support and, share it with anyone who might need a little bit of financial hope today. Thanks for watching.